Welcome to the November 2015 Star Wars Canon Update. This was another jam-packed month, so let's get started quick. Battlefront Twilight Company is a companion novel to Star Wars Battlefront. If you're a fan of military fiction, you'll probably enjoy it, but it is by no means required reading. It seems to exist to legitimize the game into the canon by including some of the new weapons and providing more context to locations like Sullust. You can check out my full review of the book here. There was also a short story called INBRIEF released in this month's issue of Star Wars Insider that goes into the backstory of the character Brand, but it was pretty inconsequential. And since we're on the topic of Battlefront, let's talk about the game as well. Since there isn't a story mode, it doesn't introduce a whole lot into the new canon, but we do get some things recanonized like Shadow Troopers, and some new things like thermal imploders. The game has some mixed reviews, but personally I'm really enjoying it. Perfect Weapon is a short story that was released this month, and is the latest piece of the new canon so far, taking place closer to the start of The Force Awakens than the end of Return of the Jedi. And it stars Bazine Natal, who some of you might recognize. So we're already starting to get some history behind, I assume, a very minor character from Episode 7. Classic Star Wars EU. Anyway, Bazine is hired by a mysterious figure to steal an item for a large sum of money. Like Pulp Fiction, we don't get to see what that item is, but I have some speculation. The item is in possession of a stormtrooper that served during the Battle of Endor. If I had to guess, this stormtrooper found Vader's funeral pyre and kept his mask as a souvenir. I think Kylo Ren hired Bazine to retrieve it. This month was very interesting for the Star Wars and Darth Vader comics as their timelines converged again. Issues 12 of each series were both standalones. The basic setup from those issues is that all our main heroes are back together, but Darth Vader is hot on their heels. Vader Down is a standalone issue that joins the two series together, and Darth Vader number 13 is part 2 in what will be a 6-part event. I don't want to give away plot details, but I'm loving how intertwined these two comics are. It really makes the comics feel like an important part of the new canon, telling stories worthy of Star Wars. The Chewbacca comic released its 3rd and 4th issues this month, and I gotta say it's pretty lackluster. It's just very silly and kinda corny. Every time I think it's about to do something interesting, like pit a Wookiee against a Shistavinan, it turns out to be disappointing. I'm gonna finish the series, but I wouldn't spend my money on this one if I were you. Kanan number 8 continues the story with Caleb's early Padawan days. It's shaping up to be pretty cool so far, and it makes me wish we got to see these stories in the Clone Wars. This issue in particular had some major events that I definitely think would have been worthy of an episode or two, and we get to see some of our favorite Jedi get some awesome little cameos. Rebels took some time this month to further connect with the Clone Wars by bringing back Hondo Ohnaka. Then we got the new canon origins of the B-Wing, which was nice, but also means I'll have to update my B-Wing video. We got a little backstory behind Sabine, and finally we got our first on-screen appearance of an Interdictor-class Star Destroyer. I always liked those ships, and I'm glad to finally actually see one. In short, Rebels continues to be a fun watch. That's it for November. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all the new Star Wars content as it's released. Definitely come back for December, where I suppose I'll be discussing this new little film I hear is coming out. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.